Hey there, everyone. It's your girl Valencia coming back at you on this Friday, March 28th, 2025. I hope everyone is getting ready to go into a wonderfully blessed weekend. And as promised earlier on my social media outlets, I wanted to come to you guys and give you guys the good news and the names of all of my gift card recipients that I did the charity for, giving away 15 $20 gift cards to people that are in some pretty dark times right now in their lives. And sometimes all it takes is something as simple as that to make their world a whole lot more bearable for them to deal with and endure. So let me start with the names. As I said, it was 15 recipients. They said that I could disclose their names. I specifically asked them this before because I don't like to just disclose people's, information. Nowadays, even your name can, you know, be used for nefarious purposes. So I wanted to ask them. I did record footage, but more than half of them did not want me to um, put them on camera in their situation. And I clearly understand. I will not disclose all of those details because I gave my word that I wouldn't, and I wouldn't share the footage that I um, took during this event. So I will share their names, but I will not share the footage because quite a few of them did not want me to disclose their information as far as that much goes, nothing but their names. Um, they said would be fine. So, on that note, let me start off with number one was Miss Mamie Waters. Beautiful lady. She gave me the biggest hug. So kind and loving her heart. It seemed to me that I just broke my heart for her to be in the situation that she described to me. And by the way, I also want to say that not only did I ask and try to help their situations, but they helped me as well. They helped me as well because, first of all, they gave me the biggest, most sincere hugs of appreciation for my efforts towards trying to make their lives a little bit better. And I also got some very good advice and inspiration and encouragement from them. That just goes to show, regardless of what situation a person may be in, they can still be a light to someone else. They gave me a lot of um, insight into what their situations was, and when I started to answer their question as to why I got into this selfless endeavor to help others, I explained to them unique situation and how I had tried, to bring a measure of resolution and justice to my child being taken away from her children and our family. And they were so just loving and compassionate, even in their situations. They were so loving and passionate towards me. It brought me to tears. As in these situations, I may seem like a tough one, and that is my exterior, but I am a Cancer. The crab is my zodiac. So if you all know anything about zodiacs, um, our symbol for Cancer is the crab. I have a tough exterior, but sometimes when I'm doing these things, I don't even realize how much of a positive effect that I'm having on people. And as I said, even in their situations, they were able to inspire and encourage and uplift me in my further search for unique remains. Never count people out and never judge a book by its cover. So, number one was Miss Mamie Waters. Number two was Miss Bertha Sonder. She said no S, so it's Sonder. Number three was Mr. Lloyd Beamer. Number four was Robert Wilson. And Mr. Wilson was such a sweet gentleman. I mean, he was such a sweet older man. It was just sweet and comical and uplifting, even in, his dire situation. He still had a spirit that, you know, could just, uplift my day. And I thank all of them for that. The next one is Miss Jennifer Lighthouse, Miss Eunice Carson, Mr. Bertram Alfred, Mr. Roland Green, Miss Miriam O'Connor, Mr. Fred Taylor, Miss Martha Tolliver, Miss Dorothy McClure, Miss Charlotte Barnett. I was calling her Burnett at first, and she was like, "Oh, it's okay, baby. It's okay. It's okay. I know you don't mean it." Man, now I got it right. I told her and I promised her I would pronounce it right on my getting her name to share with my social media family. And next, number 14 was Miss Myra Vargas. And last but not least was Miss Kathy Kilroy. And she made it perfectly clear to me as well that it's Kathy with a C, not with a K. I had such a wonderful time with these people. It didn't even feel like work. I was totally exhausted by the end of that day of work and then this as well. But it is so rewarding. I'm so glad that I was raised and taught by the people that raised me, and they loved me enough to raise me to know, number one, you can never be punished for giving. And as you all already know, I've, shared some of my videos where, Sundays I'll go out and, go in a homeless encampment and just give people food, or if I have a couple of dollars, give just something. And the thing with that now that has me really teed with the whole homeless situation is I'm not sure whether my social media family know this or not, but a lot of the homeless people encampments that they had, even one of my social media platforms struck me for putting it out there that particular Sunday when I was out distributing bags of food to people in homeless encampments. And I came up on, one of my homeless people encampments that I'm familiar with and I frequent. Um, and now the government is saying something about, from what I'm understanding, it's going to be illegal to be homeless, which that is like way beyond. Y'all know some of these things that be going on out here in this world. I can't explain it to y'all. All I try to do is continue to persevere forward for the good of humankind. I pride myself on being a humane individual, and if and when I see a need and I can assist that need, it's done without hesitation. And I try to surround myself with people that are like mind. Um, and I catch some flack for that sometimes because you know people feel like I'm just not wanting to, for lack of a better word, do this type of activism and advocacy with them. And that's not, what it's all about for me. What it's all about for me is if you're doing something, you have to do it with like minded people, or you're not going to get a good result. That's all it is. But at the end of the day, I wanted to come and say hello to my social media family and give you guys these names that I promised you, and ask for all of you all to pray, which is free, to pray for people that are less fortunate than you. Because there are so many out here that if I took you all on a tour of what I see, you'd be in tears just like me. I mean, it's just so god awful, and I always leave with a sense of wishing that I could do more, and the ones that I do assist, um, they're so thankful and appreciative for any small thing that people do for them. That's why I don't understand people out here that, can do and just doesn't do. And I mean, that's fine because at the end of the day and at the end of our days, we all have to meet our maker. And me personally, I want to make sure when I meet my maker, my slate is as clean as it possibly can be. Especially going into my older years as I am now. Um, I'm pushing 60 years old, y'all. And if I can get out here and help other people with the little that I have and make waves, if you all saw and read my post that I put out, you all will see I didn't just have, $300 laying around for gift cards to just give away to people. And the ones that do, don't. But that's for them to deal with their maker. Because two things for certain and one thing's for sure. We are only as good as those that we help. And if you're not helping anybody but yourself, I'm not even going to go any further. You can finish that off with your own interpretation. And I can't speak for anybody else. And there are some people, especially in the times we're living in, that just can't, but it doesn't stop you from, taking a couple of bags of groceries or making a partnership with, the very few food banks that are left out here to, make things happen. I all the time am looking and searching for more ways for me to be able to help people as well as maintain myself. God does a great job when it comes to me. I'm not, like I said, I'm not rich. I'm not wealthy. And seeing the way some of these rich and wealthy people act, I'm glad that I'm not, because some people's soul are not in a good place. And I'm just glad to know that God has my soul positioned in the right place to rejoin my daughter and my parents and all my loved ones that I've lost along the way in this lifetime. And these things I do in honor of them because it's just the right thing to do, people. It's just the right thing to do. And we have so many, I had so many ways that I came up with to make things happen till I'm looking at other people that are constantly talking about what they can't do, but they're doing what they want to do. Trust and believe. I could have done what I wanted to do with that money and those gift cards, but I chose. So you have to make a conscious choice to do right by humanity. And I made a conscious choice. Certain things that, I could do without, I did. It was just that simple, you know, finding other ways to, pull resources together. And y'all have to forgive me because I'm looking at both two phones right now. So that's why my eyes are shifting from one side to another, because I want to make sure that I get this message out as far as I can. And not only that, fulfill my word and promise that I put out on my social media earlier to relay those names. So, in closing, I will say those names once again: Miss Mamie Waters, Miss Bertha Sonder, Mr. Lloyd Beamer, Mr. Robert Wilson, Miss Jennifer Lighthouse, Miss Eunice Carson, Mr. Bertram Alfred, Mr. Roland Green, Miss Miriam O'Connor, Mr. Fred Taylor, Miss Martha Tolliver, Miss Dorothy McClure, Miss Charlotte Barnett, Miss Myra Vargas, and Miss Kathy Gilroy with a C. As you all also know, in that post, I asked for donations. If you can, thank you so much for your unselfish contribution. If you can't, then there, like I said, I listed in my post other ways. But on that note, I want to finish off by saying feel free to like, share, and subscribe to me on all my social media platforms. And I hope and pray that all of you have a very safe and blessed weekend. And I'll see you guys later. Bye. See ya.